Really?
Yeah.
When you're on the toilet?
Yeah, he like headbutts my phone. He's like a cat or
Why
something.
does he enjoy that?
I don't know, but I gotta play the Widdershins theme. I gotta do it now.
Widdershins, 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 Widdershins. When the crowd gets fussy, when the floor gets dusty, when your blade gets rusty, Widdershins, Widdershins. When your room smells funny, when a hex takes your money, what's gonna save you, honey? Just Widdershins, Widdershins. All you witches and all your old magicians, it's time to start listening to Widdershins, Widdershins. Widdershins, 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 Widdershins. Widdershins, 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 Widdershins. When the crowd gets fussy, when the floor gets dusty, when your blade gets rusty, Widdershins, Widdershins. When your room smells funny, when a hex takes your money, what's gonna save you, honey? Just Widdershins, Widdershins. All you witches and all your old magicians, it's time to start listening to Widdershins, Widdershins. Widdershins, Widdershins, Widdershins. AR-15. Everybody needs somebody. Join the party. The kids are alright today. We love God. We love our women. We love tradition. We love kin. We've got shiny new tools for ancient impulses that we can't even understand. So if you feel alone and downtrodden, there's an elixir for your ills. Join the upright post, light and darkenment order, and the rest of those bastards can go to alternative facts, alternative lies, alternative names, alternative tribes. Everybody, let's get bloody. Join the party. Kids are alright today. Cowering like settlers on someone else's land, mistaken advances of the natives who have come to lend a hand. It's a sad and pathetic badge of shame, my friends. Terror always seems to win in the drama of human motivation. Where is restraint and reason? Threat is urgent, existential, with patience wearing thin. But the danger's elemental, it's chaos from within. The fox-stained days of civilization depict a stark repeat. It's always a flaw in reasoning that fates the citizenry. When the ancestor fell from the arbor, the march of fear began. But the predator wanted failure in the face of consciousness. Threat is urgent, existential, time to scan the horizon. But the danger's elemental, it's chaos from within. Threat is urgent, existential, omnipresent like a skin. But the danger's purely mental, it's chaos from within. Chaos from within.
Is this what you call democracy? They're killing us, and you're killing me. Now I know better, now I can see that I don't wanna be in democracy. Now is the time for us to strike. Do we know what we're doing? Have we set things right? They're leading us into World War III, and this is what you call democracy. It's cry for no government, cry to be free. And I don't see freedom in democracy. Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. Do you really care what party you're in? Did you really think you can make it big? Living among but it's done to you and me. Democracy is not for me. Democracy is not for me. Democracy is not for me. It's not for me. Go! I don't wanna live to be 34. I don't wanna die in a nuclear war. Go on out, get some more. Go on out, the bar, the market, or the liquor store. I don't wanna live to be 43. I don't like what I see going on around me. Go on out, get some more. Go on out, get fucked up, passed out on the floor. Go on out, get some more. Go on out to your favorite liquor store. Go on out, don't worry about it no more. Go on out, get fucked up on the floor. I don't wanna live to be 57. I'm living in hell. Is there a heaven? Live fast, die young. Live fast, die young. Live fast, die young.
The Circle Jerks
Sugar
on
Rush,
Witter Shins.
Witter Shins.
A seriously punk rock set. You know, we had Agent Orange and Double Shot of Bad Religion. And did I do TSOL? I meant to do TSOL.
Yeah, I
I'm not
don't
sure if
think-
I
I
even
don't-
ever even
I
got there.
I don't think you did.
But the name of the show today, Anarchy in the USA. You know, it's probably a good guess that we'll be like playing some punk rock. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, they're least likely to, you know, sue us for copyright infringement. And not as important as Prince, apparently. Was it Prince?
Yeah.
That got us booted off of YouTube or got our show removed
That's
from
what
YouTube.
you said it was.
Yeah, I think it was the Prince was the final straw. But, you know, when it's all these punk bands that nobody listens to anymore, you know, we just get a warning. You know, warning every week. You know, it's almost like you
You
can
get it when it's local bands?
No, but you know, like I think even Stellar Corpses, I got it.
So what are you supposed? You're supposed to like submit something to YouTube so they know it's okay.
And like I don't know,
What are you supposed to
maybe
do?
you're supposed to pay each one of them a penny every time you play their song. I'm not sure.
Well, how do they know you didn't do that?
I don't know. I'm not even sure how it works because then you have a license for all your songs, and then it's like that's a whole lot of work for each song you're gonna
operating
fucking play.
You have to have a license for each song.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know, if that's how they want it, and we
Yeah.
owe it to our viewers to tell them that means it's going to be the same set every week.
Yeah, but
We'll mix up the order.
But the way it works out now, unless it's like a really obscure band or something, on the YouTube video you get a playlist of all the copyright infringements. So, you know, like the Witterson's theme's not going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Anus the Menace is not going to be there. You know, a lot of stuff's not there.
We should just start writing our own music and playing it on Wittershins.
Well, you see, when I play my music, I never get copyright infringement things because
Yeah.
we didn't have copyrights because we were anarchists and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. But yeah, that's the show, man. Anarchy in the USA. I've been fucking declaring it all week. It happened. Snuck up on me. We no longer have a government. There is no leadership. There is nobody at the helm of this fucking ship, and we're headed for fucking icebergs and shit. Maybe we will. Maybe that'll change. Maybe we'll get some leadership in November, but you know, it'll be a few months of anarchy.
Our particular state is okay, but all the states surrounding us are like the hot zones.
Yeah.
All the states, like Mississippi, Texas, you know, Florida's not that far, Georgia's not that far, Oklahoma, whose governor now has it, Arizona, All
Oklahoma, you mean where Trump had his rally?
Yeah.
Oh.
That Oklahoma.
Wow.
And he was at the rally. So I don't know if he already had it or not.
Oh.
He
That was the
said-
rally where they took the social distancing stickers off of the
Yeah.
chairs so people
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. Oh,
But there were so many empty seats, it would have been fine to leave them on.
well, but we just saw it. You know, it was like first come, first served for seating.
Yeah.
So the empty seats were like the upper level and shit.
But
they were all still packed
but
in
there
around.
were a lot of them, though.
Yeah.
They could have spread out.
They could have spread out, but the people that were there were in really close proximity. And if they hadn't taken the stickers off, there'd been like, you know, every other chair spacing or some shit. But Trump's
But it would have
people-
made it look more full, probably, because you wouldn't have
that's-
these huge swaths of empty chairs.
That's why the Trump administration took the stickers off, not to, you know,
What, to make it look empty?
no, to make it look full.
No, I'm saying it would have looked full if the stickers had stayed on.
You think so?
Yes.
You would have seen gaps in between
But
everybody.
I wouldn't have seen huge gaps.
Yeah. Maybe it would have worked out for them, but you know, they don't do math or anything like that. Remember, they tried to. I was just talking about this with Marta. They tried to blame a group of protesters that was blocking the entrance of the Trump supporters.
Somehow, miraculously, there were no arrests and there was nothing in the news about it.
Oh, there was that one arrest again. The woman with the "I Can't Breathe" T-shirt.
Who had a ticket and was
Yeah.
just sitting on the curb minding her business. They
Yeah.
arrested her because they didn't like her T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's a crime, apparently.
They somehow, you know, Fox News didn't even catch any footage of these. Must have been a huge throng of left-wing fanatics to keep the
And
Trump
Antifa.
supporters back.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Trump supporters not just rushing a fucking line?
Just being
You
like,
know?
dude, we can't get in. Let us in.
Listen, that's so very, very unfair.
That's
We're not gonna
unfair.
let us in. We're gonna go
Unfair.
see Trump.
Unfair.
Oh, it's a shame. But so let's see. So we have no government, we have no leadership,
and
we have no rule of
hence-
law anymore.
Hence, we've decided to homeschool our child,
Mm-hmm.
which I never in a million years thought I was ever going to do. That's for homeschooling is for hippies.
Which brings me to the first point in the rant. We have reached the point of anarchy. Part of anarchy tends to be no government, but the core of anarchy is self-government, personal responsibility. We've decided to take personal responsibility of a huge thing that, you know, most parents just like send our kids off to school. And, you know, we did it too. And the school handles everything. And, you know, we somehow trust them to fucking do it. We can't trust them to do it. You know, even our son's school, you know, the great people, they're really talking about opening.
They are, as
You know,
of
their-
now,
their plan is
they're
to fucking
planning
open.
on opening. I mean, I got an email today. They're still, as of today, planning on opening on August 3rd. However, they always put in the caveat, like, you know, we remain flexible, and the reason it's so early is because we're building in 5 weeks. So they're okay with not opening 5 weeks from August 3rd. But after that, they're going to open because they'll be running out of... I don't know how they're going to do it.
Well,
It's just, they
if
don't want to do distance learning, basically.
think in another strategic context about what you just said. They've planned into the school schedule closings.
Yes.
Now, how confident can you be? You're not confident enough to have my fucking kid there. You know, that's not reassuring. You know, you have to have in your plan the plan's not going to fucking work. It's not a very secure plan.
Well, I don't think it would be a secure plan if they didn't do that
Yeah.
and just opened, you know, a couple weeks from August 3rd.
Yeah,
nothing.
but it's you know, it's almost an acknowledgement of the shaky ground in which we're doing this thing.
Yeah.
And fucking I think it was Sandra Mariah Wright. She posted this picture. I assumed it was from her kid's school, but she had this thing. It was from some school somewhere, and it was a fucking a release of liability,
Waiver, yeah.
a waiver. If your kid dies from their gross negligence,
From COVID.
you won't fucking sue them.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the least you would
that's a
worry
red
about
flag.
is me fucking suing you. It'd be way, 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 way worse than that.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna let it happen. These people are not in charge. They don't have our best interest at heart. I never think the government does, but never in my life did I ever think of that more now. They want to sacrifice our children to prop up Trump's poll numbers, and they want to keep telling us over and over again now. It's like, well, kids, it's pretty mild when kids get it. Well, not fucking always it isn't.
And even my whole point is, even if it were really mild when kids get it, it's not mild when their teacher gets it. So if you're in a classroom and the teacher gets COVID and has to be out for like 2 months, good luck finding a sub that's going to sub somewhere where the person got COVID from one of the students. They're not going to find a sub. The school's going to close anyway.
Yeah. And where they may not have a whole
and now
lot
you have a sick person who might die.
And where they may not have a whole lot of kids dying from COVID, they've got kids in critical condition from other symptoms that COVID brought on. And they've been talking about that for a while. Nobody fucking talks about that anymore. It's like, okay, well, maybe the COVID doesn't kill them, but they get these other things that cause them, permanent fucking damage for the rest of their goddamn lives. And even COVID, people that have survived COVID, they're fucked up. They got some damage done to them. It's like, well, so the kids are going to have mild symptoms. Their lungs can be damaged for their whole fucking lives. There's too much we don't fucking know, and they're not going to play fucking guesswork
Trump
with our
broke
fucking
city
kids.
law by not wearing a mask. Atlanta mayor.
Oh,
when was he in Atlanta though?
I thought that was recently, and I thought, well, I think that was there was at least. Was it Cedar Sinai or something like
Cedar
that, where
Sinai's
he
in
wore?
Los Angeles.
Okay, well there was a hospital or something.
Walter Reed.
The first place that he actually wore a mask.
Walter Reed. That's not
Maybe
Atlanta.
All right.
Well, first of all, he wore a mask, so obviously it's not this place.
And I thought Atlanta already told him he couldn't come because he wouldn't wear a mask.
No.
Huh. What city was that?
It was. It wasn't a city. It was a state. Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, and then Pence was just here. In Louisiana.
I don't
talking,
remember
and
what
even
he
our
said.
Democrat fucking governor was on the fucking TV talking about the need to open schools, and not enough caution, not enough planning, just stressing the need to open schools, and
I've read article after article about people. I mean, first of all, we're all in agreement that we want the schools to open. We think that's the best place for our kids. We just, how to do it safely. And so I've read like op-ed after op-ed after op-ed where people are like, yeah, we need to reopen the schools, but there's going to be an expense in making sure that they're safe. And our government doesn't want to pay that expense. That's why he wanted the CDC to like redo their guidelines, because he said that's too expensive. They're going to have to like install certain things, and the desks are far apart, like half the students, and, figure all that, hire more teachers probably. And he doesn't want to do it. So these people are saying we can open, but in order to do it safely, we need upgrades that we can't afford.
Mm-hmm.
So that therein lies the problem.
Absolutely. We've got CNN on mute in the background, so sometimes we see like breaking news and stuff. So
That's
yeah.
what I said that Trump is breaking city law by not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
The Atlanta mayor, but I don't remember him being in Atlanta anytime recently.
Huh.
It's weird.
So where was he going with that? Yeah, so he came to Louisiana to
I don't remember what he was saying. He was just kind of.
He was there to encourage schools to open.
But then what did our governor?
He was encouraging schools to open. He seemed to be, taking too much of the Kool-Aid for my liking. That was he didn't stress safety enough. Just talked about the necessity for schools to open and how good it is for kids. But the thing is, that same governor, there was talk about we were going back to phase one. And in a lot of aspects, we did. Bars went back to phase one, restaurants went back to phase one, or maybe a little bit, because I guess were they open at all in phase one? It was when phase one was outdoor seating.
Yeah, bars didn't open until phase two.
Okay, so bars went to some lower part of phase two.
Bars are basically closed. Yeah. But they're allowed to do. Okay, what I read was that if the bars sell food, they're allowed to do takeout. But what I've seen from the bar that we used to go to, and we know one of the bartenders, she had a table outside the bar with like a sandwich board that said, mask please, and then it said to-go drinks and Jello shots. So, which I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, just on the sidewalk where you could just do that. But anyway,
well, we still haven't seen it, but yeah,
well,
not going anywhere.
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's allowed or not. I mean, I didn't read that was allowed. I read that only food.
Is Jello food? Maybe that's the catch.
No, because they were doing drinks too. I read only food, no to-go drinks, but whatever. More power to them if they can. I don't know who the problem is. It's like we're not supposed to really be walking around. So why would you stop and get a to-go drink? But I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I guess there is more people walking around. I haven't checked the cam in a while.
The cam is not
Bourbon Street
dead.
camera.
I just checked the cam, and it's not like dead empty. Like for a while there was like literally nothing. Like
I saw
tumbleweeds. Yeah. And now there are some people and some cars, but obviously not what it was before. I can actually turn it on now to look at it, but yeah,
so
it's definitely not.
Then restaurants went back pretty much phase one. Pretty much outdoor seating. They're not having indoor seating anymore.
No.
A whole bunch of regulations on that.
Yeah, so you can sit outside. You can do curbside pickup. Delivery or sit outside. So unfortunately, our brewery, we only sat outside there, and they've closed. Yeah. And I thought it was because they don't have food.
Yeah.
They have outdoor seating.
And that was the one place we were going to go to.
Yeah, because we've already seen the seating, and they've even done better, like more safer. But even before,
big outdoor space,
like a really big outdoor space. Yeah. You're really, unless you feel like sitting right across from somebody at their table, you're not really close to people.
So we got all these aspects of New Orleans that just recently opened, having to go back to phase one or lower versions of phase two. But the schools, the most germ-contaminated place in the world. We've been hearing from all these teachers, Marno talk about it too. The teachers can get it. Even if, if the children were immune, they could still carry it. Bourbon Street's looking pretty vacant.
If the children, just had a sniffle, maybe had to be out for like, a couple days, no big deal. What about the teachers? There's only one teacher per classroom. You're not going to be out for a couple days. No way.
And I know people for years that have sworn by that airborne stuff. The little lozenge, you take it, put it in a glass of water, drink it.
Powder. That's why you put it in water.
Well, it's in lozenge form now. It's been for quite a while. But you don't put the
lozenge in water. You either put the powder in the water or the lozenge in your mouth.
Okay. Irregardless, which is now a word.
That was like his best day of his life.
Yeah, I'm fucking totally thrown off track now. What the fuck am I talking about?
Bourbon Street Cam.
No, I wasn't talking about the Bourbon Street Cam.
The kids not getting...
the kids. The reason that the teacher developed airborne was because she was sick of getting sick all the time from the little germ carriers that came into her classroom.
They're already getting sick.
Yes.
And another thing that what the teachers want to know is if they, do get sick and need to take sick days, are those taken out of their sick days? Or do they get to keep their sick days that they start with? Yeah. Or are just because if you get sick with COVID, you're obviously blowing through your entire year of sick days, and then you need more because nobody gets a month of sick days or 2 months even. You know what? I'm sorry. Some people are in the hospital for 3 months.
Yep.
So nobody has that many sick days.
And you're going to get a sub to come in.
Yeah, and then what?
Then what? Remote teaching. Which is what we should just fucking do. There was this whole meme I saw today. It's like the USA is like, oh, we don't know, what to do about this thing. It's just, such a mystery of how to keep this thing in check. And then, the rest of the world says, well, we shut down and we stopped people from coming to the country and we tested people. And the USA says, yeah, it's just, a mystery. What's ever going to happen? And it's like everybody else fucking has the solution. Yeah. Except for us. They lock down. They pay their people to fucking stay home. They take the hit. The government takes the hit.
And I will say, there are some countries that did not shut down. For example, South Korea never shut down, but what they did do, which nobody else did, they immediately tested everybody, did contact tracing, and quarantined everybody. So they acted so fast and hard that they didn't have to shut down because they already isolated everybody who had it and moved them out of the regular population. So the people who were left, none of them had it because they all got tested, so they didn't have to shut down. We're not going to do that in the U.S. either. So there are two options. There was the option not to shut down. That was possible. But we're not going to do crazy testing on everybody and contact trace and isolate. So we have to close. Those are the two options. Either close or immediately remove those people from the population at large.
Well, and the real twist to that is the reason that South Korea was so able to do that is it's one of the most surveilled countries in the fucking world.
Yeah.
They even rival China. So, tracking their fucking citizens. Oh, we got it. We got it here. Hold my sake. Or whatever they drink in Korea. That's the only Asian drink I could come up with. I didn't want to say beer. So there are But
either, like I'm saying,
that's what Americans are
either
thinking
option
tracing.
Obviously, either option does not appeal to Americans.
Yeah. Americans.
So that this is why we are where we are. It's not a mystery at all.
Nope.
We are not willing to do what every other country did. Different techniques. People still idiots keep bringing up Sweden. Because Sweden did what America wants to do. They didn't shut down. They didn't do anything. They're just letting it run its course. And the article that I've read is they utterly failed. And what happened is now they have way more sick people than they would have because they didn't do anything to stop it. And the economy stopped because people are too sick to work toward the economy.
Yeah.
They're too sick to participate. Everybody's sick. So therefore, the economy shut down. So kids, this is what happens when you don't do anything. And people who are opposed to mask wearing and all the protocols still bring up Sweden as an example. Sweden failed. They failed.
So let's run this scenario through the computer. So you don't want to pay. It's too much of a burden to be without your workers for a while they stay quarantined. So instead, you force your workers to come back. You're going to cut off their unemployment and shit and their benefits. And then all your workers die off. Then you don't have workers. Well, now you need to go through the complicated process of hiring immigrant labor. And then what? We've done away with the fucking immigrant labor. There's probably, we're probably going to have a food shortage because of all the Latinos that aren't in our fucking fields at this point.
Stop.
Yeah.
The problem with immigrant labor is then that they all get it.
Yeah.
It's not like the immigrant labor is immune to getting sick. Yeah. So you're just constantly perpetuating the same scenario. Mm-hmm. Then the immigrant labor gets sick, and what do? Keep getting more immigrant labor? Yeah. I mean, eventually everybody's going to have it.
Exactly.
And it's like, you think the shutdown's bad now? Wait, we have utilities. We have running water. The stores are open. Mm-hmm. It's not that bad, people. It's really not that bad. Like I'm in awe sometimes that aside from staying home, we don't have to worry about our power getting shut off or the water. What do we do then? Yep. So we don't have it that bad.
Yeah.
Our stores are open. Mm-hmm. Everything's on the shelves. At least for now, they're expecting another. We're still in the first wave, but when the second wave comes, they're expecting the same fucking thing. No toilet paper, no wipes. Come to think of it, let's start stocking. Let's be like them and start stocking up now, so we have it. While it's still readily available, Clorox wipes, all that shit, because there will be a second wave, and the smart people are going to have what they need.
Also, for anybody that has the means, while some things are still open, if your state has any sort of reimbursement program or any bonus programs for getting solar. Yeah. Now might be the time to get it because, those businesses tend to be open in a lot of places. Fucking get it. Who knows? Maybe the finance company will die off before you pay off your fucking solar panels.
They'll go out of business.
Yeah, they'll go out of business, and but you'll have your fucking solar panels. But you got to start thinking of shit like that.
And then, but then we
utilities.
gotta figure out the water situation too.
Yeah. Well, here we could probably, if we really, really got hardcore on collecting water, we probably fucking could collect enough water.
From the rains,
big
yeah.
tarps and rain barrels and shit.
True.
Old school.
I really don't want that to happen, like
No,
on many levels.
no.
But I really don't want people to like start breaking through our windows and like stealing our shit.
That was the other thing I was going to say. Hey, pagans and shit. It's probably time to start getting some guns. When shit like this happens, plagues happen, man. You know who usually gets blamed for that, historically? We do. They get like, even though, their God has forsaken them, they somehow, I don't know, they get more religious and more fanatical, as if God was going to respond.
Or that, well, no, they think God punished them for not being like that before.
Exactly. History repeats itself. This time, let's be armed, witches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't let history repeats itself, but doesn't have to always turn out the same. But same scenarios pop up again and again. We're in a plague. Call me paranoid, but that's the history of our people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're living in I just feel like we're just always repeating ourselves. Like these fools don't listen.
Keeps going.
And then everything happens like we said it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we've been following the rules. And I don't say that, very often about either one of us. But when it comes to like plagues and like public health and stuff, we do what we're supposed to do.
That again, personal responsibility.
I don't consider myself a sheep or whatever. Like I need to stay home. That's what keeps me safe. I'm gonna decide to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Some people are surprised when I tell them I haven't left the house since March 13th, and they're like, "Well, but we didn't have the quarantine until like April, blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I decided that I need to stay home. I don't need them to tell me it's okay to go out.
Yep.
I don't need that. I'll decide when it's okay to go out."
That too is anarchy.
Yeah. So,
And I don't need a cop to tell me to put on a fucking mask.
yeah. And so we happen to, just agree with what the protocol is to do, and that's why we're doing it. Not because they told us to do it, but we happen to agree with it.
This is my first pandemic, man. I'm
I think
rolling with it.
I think it's all of our first pandemic.
Well, yeah. We're just, just trying to roll with the punches and be smart about it. And these people, they smart guys are like Fauci and shit, and they want to lynch him over on the fucking right. And even that I was listening to that, I heard that fucking Alex Jones guy on the shortwave last night. He was, riling his people up to have them do away with Fauci, and kill the messenger, man. Yeah. Kill the fucking
And I
experts.
see, a lot of people on like Nevada City peeps and county peeps, they'll be like, the people who are opposed to mask wearing and stuff. Sometimes, they'll have like a reasonable person post something, and then these people, like the Trump supporters and stuff, they'll be like, "You've been listening to too much Fauci," or like, "Stop listening to Fauci." Now it's kind of like a saying that they say now. Yeah. Now saying Fauci, only has one meaning.
Yeah. But, I keep saying to people, like, when they talk about, how fake it is, like, well, I know of a few people that, may not personally know them, but, them through Facebook and shit, that died from it. And I know so many mutual friends that have known people that died from it. Family members fucking die from it. I don't know anybody that knows anybody that died of the flu. Occasionally some old people might die of the flu. But, our other big, I don't know anybody that died from Ebola. I guess there were, 2?
Yeah, that's rare.
Yeah. So, this is a fucking big deal. And they just, they want to pretend. I had a point, but it doesn't matter. I'll hit upon it another time again. But, What this hoax, this government conspiracy, that we need to rise up,
Yeah,
we need to
there's
revolt.
some meeting of people in Nevada City yesterday, and the person announcing it saying, this has nothing to do with our health at all. This has to do with closing down the economy and destroying our communities. And I'm like, what the fuck are you? Who? I'm sorry. Who? Lex Luthor? Like, who stands to gain from our economy shutting down?
Yes.
Is there a single person? I just
And-
don't understand. It's like this group of people in a room that like they're just plotting to shut down the economy. It's just ridiculous.
And I always distrust my government now more than ever. I don't see any of that coming from the government. I see the government trying to act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's like
It's gone away.
You're on the side of the government. These people who are opposed to it, I think, as far as these particular people go, I think they fucking hate Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and he's the one who's calling all the shots with everything, and they're pissed. So I think they're talking about meaning the Democrats who dominate California.
Oh, the deep state.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I mean, obviously, it's not the White House.
Yeah, well, they're sure benefiting too. Sure, they're having a great time having their economies fucking tank. Everybody's having a great time fucking losing all their fucking money. I just to have a good conspiracy theory, it needs to be plausible. You need to imply a motive. What's the motive? What's the motivation? Who's benefiting from this? I heard Alex Jones talk about
Aliens.
the New World Order. Yeah. And it's just to make us obedient. I was like, okay, well, that's a lot to go through to make us obedient. You just do what Trump did. His people are totally fucking obedient. Just scare everybody into obedience. It seems to fucking work over on the right. Obedience. Destroy the entire economy on which they rely to.
It's ridiculous when these people, the Trump people, say that. The obedience and the tyranny.
I know.
Then anybody who disagrees with them is a sheep and all this stuff. And it's like, wow. Have you listened to yourself?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or we're just talking about the guy who wants to, pass laws against the press, against.
I didn't hear about that.
He did it before. He talked about that he should be able to sue him for libel, even though he's fucking president, and there should be fucking law. He always says there should be a law. Yeah, okay. Trump. He wanted to pass laws against the social media people that would ever fucking censor him, and then wants to call himself the law and order president. I think the Roger Stone thing happened since the last show. So he's pardoning his the guy that lied for him.
The guy who has something on him.
Yeah, and the guy that did witness intimidation and threatened people for Trump regarding the Russia investigation. That guy, the felon, he pardoned him. So we don't have a government. We have an absolutely broken system. And hopefully we remember when we're in some other position later down the road, there's some shit we need to fix. We shouldn't have, the president should not have the power to fire a prosecutioner that's investigating him, or the one that's investigating one of his friends. He shouldn't be able to pardon people that have committed felonies for him. And then, with the Flynn thing, it's pretty much the same thing. It wasn't an outright pardon straight from Trump. They try and throw Barr under the bus, but it was at Trump's behest that they even know what they did. It wasn't they didn't commute his sentence. They just dropped the charges, kind of. Or
Stone?
No, with Flynn, the thing that Barr did. I think they recommended that the state drop the charges.
Yeah, they
or something like
recommended that the state drop the charges, but I don't think it's been done yet.
Yeah, it's still not over.
Yeah.
But this is the law and order president. Mm-hmm. So we have no rule of law. We have no government. We have no leadership. We have no rule of law. It's anarchy, you all. Yeah. And I got to take a break.
And I need a drink.
Okay.
His eyes, they closed, and his last breath spoke. He had seen all to be seen. A life once full, now an empty vase, wilt the blossoms on his early grave. Walk away, me boy, walk away, me boy, and by morning we'll be free. Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me. Then the rosary beads, counting 1, 2, 3, fell apart as they hit the floor. In our garb of black, we must pay respect to the colour we're born to mourn. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys, by morning we'll be free. Wipe the golden tear from your mother dear, raise what's left of the flag for me. Staggeroo, an angry fist started a wound filled with hatred and remorse. Where it pick and scratch till the blood it matched the silent rage now that fills my lungs. For there are many ways to kill a man, they say, with bayonet and a sword. But son, a bullet fired from a shapeless ghost has put the shell of a Thompson gun. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys, and by morning we'll be free. With the golden tear from your mother dear, raise what's left of the flag for me. From the east out to the western shore, where many men and many more will fall. The angel flies with me tonight, the freedom reigns on all. I curse the names for which we slaved our days, till every man shall his kingdom come. But sure as night turns day, it's the passion play. Oh my God, what have they done? With madman's rage, well they dug our graves, but the dead rise again, you fools. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys, and by morning we'll be free. Wipe the golden tear from your mother dear, raise what's left of the flag for me. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys, and by morning we'll be free. Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me.
Flogging Molly on Wittershins Radio. And hello in the chat room. We can't see you. We can't go there and type to you because last time I did that, it's been a while. I've sent an email to the tech support people, but it crashed the whole damn show. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to press the chat. So I know you're there. We'll look at the chats later, see if you asked us anything that we need to answer or whatever. But
I lost
hello
my
there.
emojis.
Lost your emojis. I thought you were supposed to gain. It was more than emoji. It was another word.
It was kind of like an avatar, and I didn't do it. But look, see, I got the Cyrillic, and I got this. That's really cool.
Oh, Marty just upgraded the operating system on her phone.
And the reason I updated it didn't work anyway.
Yeah.
I love that when that happens.
Now she's lost her emojis.
So now I
Always fucking something up.
I gotta find them now.
Update shit.
Yeah. I forgot how to do it, but I'll find it. Keep going.
Yeah, let's see. Our troubled times. We were just reading some stuff back in our old hometown of Santa Cruz. The beaches are packed. there's a lot of this, gotta, blame on the government or lack thereof. But then there's the lack of personal responsibility. Like, nobody told them, hey, definitely go to the beach.
Yeah,
you have to go to the
that's
beach.
That's the thing. If everybody had personal responsibility, it wouldn't. The government would be irrelevant to, like. I mean, I'm not listening to the government. I'm just doing what I feel we need to do to stay safe.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the government saying, like, they can say whatever they want. They can say you can all run around naked on Bourbon Street and lick the sidewalks. I'm not going to do it.
Listening to, like, Fauci, scientists, experts, people that actually know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, listening to them. They're not very confident about that. Definitely,
Well, it sounded like today, because there's that guy who wrote the nasty op-ed about Fauci and how he's always wrong. Trump said that, he was not okay with it and that he didn't ask his approval. And some other White House person said he went rogue and, blah, blah, blah. I forgot exactly what
they always say just shit.
No,
like
yeah,
that,
but the point is, at least they're not backing him.
Yeah. Wherever they try to, like, make it look like Barr went rogue and sent all the cops to clear the peaceful protesters so Trump could walk to the church and hold up a fucking Bible for a picture. He always tries to blame somebody. That's I don't think he's probably ever read the 48 Laws of Power, but, it's in there. What are you making noise for, dog? Quiet on the damn set. So personal responsibility, man. And the Karens, I've become addicted to Karens because they just, as soon as I started watching Karens, like YouTube's like Facebook now, it sees what you're interested in and just keeps throwing more in your feed. So every time I go to YouTube, like check my videos or something like that, there's a new, top 10 Karens number 563. And they just keep coming. And, now a lot of the
top 10 Karens number 563.
It actually, one of them is up to 500 versions.
No.
So they had that many episodes. And these people, hey, we laugh. These people, I bet you, are making fucking bucks. I always have to watch a commercial before I watch the fucking Karens. And they've got, millions of subscribers, and they just, they don't even own any of these Karen videos. They're just out there on the internet. You just got to, like, go around. I should make this a fucking sideline, man. You just go around, collect the different Karen videos, stick them on your channel, and market it and sell commercials.
It says I have the keyboard emojis, but it's not. Okay.
Marta's doing tech stuff over here.
It's on emojis.
This is what happens when you update your operating system, people. Yeah.
I always use emojis. I need them.
Personal responsibility. So we have made the decision. We're not, at this time, until we can be convinced that there's some semblance of safety to send our kid back to school, we're not going to sacrifice our kid for fucking Trump or for fucking anybody. So we're having to figure out the homeschool thing. So Marta been all up finding resources over the damn place. There's a whole lot of stuff out there, but right away, probably the easiest to just jump into was the Khan Academy. And that one we started hearing about before we even
started hearing about it when Sasha was like 1 or something.
It's Khan, like Khan, like that.
Yeah.
Academy.
Somebody told me about it in Santa Cruz, and I don't even know why, but she was just saying, like, you can take a bunch of classes and learn a bunch of stuff, and it's free. And we've got a bunch of friends, who are adults who have used it to learn stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not, a homeschooling program per se. It's just a program where you can learn whatever. I can go and learn calculus, if I want to.
Yeah. But they've been, right away when
I asked like some of the, I joined a Facebook group for New Orleans homeschoolers because all of a sudden I was like, I have to, because I'm reading about how to apply for it. And I was like, I have to pick a curriculum. Like, I didn't even know I had to do that. And so then I started freaking out and, like, trying to find different curriculums. And, you know, some of them had really good reviews, but then I went there and they were, like, Christian. And I was just kept going back and forth. And then I asked on there, I said, is Khan Academy considered, like, you know, full-time curriculum? You know, like an accredited one. And the guy who runs the page, who's been, you know, homeschooling forever, he's like, yep. And then I looked at, I found an article that said, like, the best homeschooling platforms or whatever, and Khan was on there, too.
And Khan, it's free.
Yep.
They're a non-profit. You know, you can make donations
when you
to
go
them.
on their Facebook page, it's got a
content.
donate now button.
I mean, we think that our kid got better at math than his entire, you know, time in third grade.
Yep.
And he went from a technology magnet school to an anti-technology school here in New Orleans. So he's had, you know, all sides of it. You know, I don't know. They're doing it on the abacus in the non-technology school, how they did it. But they tended to use, like, physical things. Like, they taught them, you know, they used the yarn to make a pentacle and stuff. Yeah. They were teaching some mathematics.
And they weren't allowed to wear, like, you know, Star Wars T-shirts or hats or, you know, like in our kid, everything he has is like Minecraft.
Well, yeah,
Star Wars.
We came from Hollywood, you know.
Yeah.
Hollywood's nothing but billboards, including the people.
Yeah.
And the kids, they're all like billboards to Star Wars, Minecraft, Roblox. And, I think he informed me that we've never got him a Roblox T-shirt today. So we put that on the list. I'm sure he'll still be into Roblox.
And we haven't told him yet, but we actually are thinking about for his birthday, we'd probably do like a birthday Christmas combo. Get him some other stuff for Christmas, but to get him a laptop. Yep. He's going to be using it. I mean, he's using mine for school, and you know, we've only done a couple hours today and yesterday because, as far as I'm concerned, he's still on summer break, even though he's had like winter and spring break for months and months and months. But I'm not ready to like full on start him yet. I still have to contact the state and like apply and have him registered and stuff. But so where was I going with that? Oh, so he's on my. I want him to be doing it for like, you know, most of the school day, but I also need my laptop, so we're probably gonna get him one.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And we wouldn't be doing that if he kept going to the anti-technology.
Yeah.
The guy can type so fast, it's crazy.
And just right away, math. I'm doing okay helping him so far.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. I didn't think I would be, but I'm understanding. I'm like looking over his shoulder for the first couple of days, but math's not my forte, and so it wouldn't be a whole lot of help there. But these programs are done in a way that he gets. They're done on a computer, which is, where he spends a large portion of his life, and that may have been bad in previous generations, but the geeks will inherit the earth. These are different generations. If you can think about this fucking pandemic, where would you be if somebody hadn't coded that fucking Zoom shit for you, that FaceTime shit for you, Facebook Live, fucking YouTube, all that shit? Those are fucking coders, man. Those are geeks. There's people making extremely better livings than all of us on YouTube, playing games, doing pranks, making fucking funny videos. That dude I just talked about there, man, he finds videos of Karens, which are everywhere because everybody launches them to YouTube. He compiles them into episodes. He's up to episode 500 and fucking something right now. And he's selling commercials on his channel. He's a content provider, but he's not making content. See, we're content providers, but we're making the content. He's just stealing the content. We're reappropriating the content. And he's not the only one doing it. There's plenty of people out there doing these collages of fucking Karens. And all you have to do is have some Karens and somebody with a video recording, which is all the fucking time, everywhere you fucking go. That's coding too. Where would we be First of all, we got the mechanisms that delivered the Karens to us for our entertainment. Those deliverances of the Karens are providing some people an income that don't have to, go out into the world and endanger themselves and others by having a regular fucking job. You're not going to get anybody sick posting Karens on your fucking thing. And then they're all brought to us by this wonderful technology, these little handheld fucking computers that we call phones, but most people don't ever call anybody. Everybody got a camera all the fucking time. We're always ready to catch a Karen. Everybody wants to catch a Karen, so you can have a Karen go viral on their fucking page, to get a whole bunch of hits. And, maybe if they monetize it, they may, make $3 or something like that. But there's innovative geeks out there making money. I always talk about the Sasha's favorite ones, FGTV, an entire family of gamers. They probably weren't all gamers at first. The father does the editing on the videos. All the kids play. The mom does marketing. And one of the kids is responsible for all the text and the tags. Like there's one that's one of their main jobs is all the different tags they put in each fucking video. So it's a whole family-run operation where they play fucking games. And they play different games all the time. But so Sasha likes Roblox. So the episode that they did on Roblox, maybe they did a couple of them. I don't know. He's watched it thousands of times probably, man. He's always fucking watching it. He's watching it on TV right now. And a little light went off in his head when I was telling him that, the other day. I said, well, I'm sure they appreciate your support. Every time you watch that, they get paid. And he goes, what? I go, yeah. That's what clicks and likes and stuff are. And he goes, what? And I go, yeah, and then there's subscribers. That's another dollar value there. And he goes, what? I said, yeah, that's why they're doing it. And while they're doing it, they have commercials, they have a little banner when you start. So every one of those clicks, those people with the little commercials and banners, well, they're having to pay them a certain amount of money for each one of those clicks. It's fractions of a cent here and there, but shit adds up. And these people, they probably have more money than God. The whole family's rich. They'll never be in want for anything. They just started their own bunch of toys. I think it was either Christmas. Was it Christmas that we got Sasha that toy? We went out and bought them their toy. They have a line of their own fucking toys. Everybody's rich as shit. They just, fathers, sons, daughters, they all play games together and record themselves doing it. And they're, kind of entertaining. They're very animated people, and they make it entertaining. And then the father edits it and makes the videos all cool. And then the rest of the family all does their shit. And, they're probably not having a hard time social distancing. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to do anything. I'm sure they got a big house with a big backyard for the kids to run around in. Maybe when Trump's stupid fucking daughter was, telling people, that they can't get jobs because of COVID to just, find something else.
I think that was the hashtag.
Yeah.
Just find something else.
I'm saying a version of that, I guess, that makes more sense. She was suggesting that people go and into technical jobs and pretty fucking
elevator repair technician. There's the tracers though.
The contact tracers.
Yeah.
Census takers. I mean, there's a dangerous job now.
I don't think
about that. I know, but that's kind of like a contact tracer. There was one other one. There was like a really technical fucking job that I can't even fucking think of. But yeah, she's a fucking idiot. But there's other people that before all this stuff happened, found different ways to make a living, different ways to survive, and they're probably doing better than most people. I guess, including myself. Bulk of my stuff comes from teaching witches online. I need those witches to know a whole lot of money spells and stuff, so that, they're not broke, as long as, all of my students don't lose their jobs and shit. I'm going to find some wood to knock on.
You got my emojis back.
Huh?
Got my emojis back.
Oh, Marta got her emojis back. All right. all is right with the world now, even though the upgrading the operating system didn't do the main thing that you wanted to upgrade the operating system for, but these are the signs of our troubled times. We'll be back.
Destruction. What kind of a fool do you think I am? Do you think I could be happy with this? Sometimes changes are hard to confront. Listen, and I'll be blunt. I want destruction. Destruction. I want destruction. Destruction. Change it around. Change it. Be careful with what you change. And always use wisdom in what you rearrange. For in this world there is good and there is evil. So don't mistake change for evil. You need destruction. Destruction. I want destruction. I want destruction. Change it around. Change it. Here we go. If you want to change the world, there's still time. It's a race between the atomic bomb and mankind. If you want a better world for that child, you'd better see the change runs wild. That's why I'm calling for destruction. Destruction. I want destruction. I want destruction. Change it around. Change it. Change. Change. And destruction.
therapy. Who needs this filthy room at night? Who says give up without a fight? Who gets their answers out of books? Dirty men with their dirty looks. What you need in your room at night? Therapy. That's right. What you get when you kill that night? Therapy. That's right. What you want when you know that's wrong? Therapy. That's right. Who needs therapy all night long? I take you. I dream of pavements and pavements cold and gray. Cheerful and laughter on a lovely day. I dream of pavements, they won't go away. I dream of pavements.
Damn, still playing in the background. We can't hear it on your end, but you can hear it on our end because the damn I just never know how to end a song. Just go on forever and ever. What, on Witterson's Radio, and Marta has some news.
Okay, this is called Donald Trump is at war with COVID-19 science. And this talks about Pence's visit to Louisiana, which is why I started reading it. Okay. At a round table at Louisiana State University on Tuesday, Vice President Mike Pence paused to make what he clearly felt was a vital point. Quote, "To be very clear, we don't want CDC guidance to be a reason why people don't reopen their schools."
Jeez.
End quote. In other words, schools and universities, which the Trump administration is pushing to rapidly reopen despite surging coronavirus infections in many states, need not heed the advice of the scientists at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the nation's premier public health agency, as they reopen amid an ongoing pandemic that has killed more than 136,000 people. 136,000 people in the U.S. Suggesting that schools ignore expert advice meant to keep kids, parents, and school staff safe would, in a different administration, be shocking. But in recent weeks, President Donald Trump and his team have led a brazen attack on COVID-19 science and scientists in a desperate effort to deny away a deadly pandemic that the administration's incompetence has made far worse. That effort has included downplaying the ongoing threat, diverting crucial hospital data from the CDC, smearing infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci, and casting blame on China, the World Health Organization, and Americans from northern states. The COVID response is part of the Trump administration's long war on all forms of science and expertise. The administration has cast out or discredited science that does not align with Trump's fossil fuel-centric energy dominance agenda, his re-election campaign, or in some cases that contradicts what the president himself said on Twitter. The president himself has repeatedly denied climate change, questioned the science of vaccinations, and invented weather forecasts for a hurricane. When hundreds of researchers from more than a dozen federal agencies warned in a November 2018 report that the world is barreling toward a catastrophic climate change, Trump simply said of the findings, quote, "I don't believe it." His anti-science beliefs have been made into policy by the ex-industry lobbyists appointed to run environmental and scientific agencies across his administration. The president on Wednesday traveled to Atlanta, that's today, a current hotspot of the virus, to speak unmasked at a UPS facility, where he announced a major rollback of one of the nation's most important environmental laws, the National Environmental Policy Act. Among other things, the rollback fast-tracks oil pipelines, power plants, and other major infrastructure projects by limiting the number that require in-depth environmental reviews, as well as allowing federal agencies to ignore how developments impact climate change. At the event, Trump thanked UPS drivers for continuing to deliver packages during America's, quote, battle against the China virus, one of several racist terms he continues to use to describe coronavirus. While much of Trump's opposition to climate and environmental science is common among Republican presidents and lawmakers, the ongoing coronavirus pandemic shows how deadly this rejection of science can be. And his strategy heading into the 2020 election appears to be to convince Americans that the death and suffering happening around them isn't really that bad, and certainly isn't his fault. Subhead says, attacking the messenger. While denial and finger-pointing have dominated Trump's coronavirus response from the start, the assault on reality has escalated in recent weeks. Most alarming is the administration's new effort to undermine Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and the person a majority of Americans have come to trust during the pandemic. The White House's most direct effort began on Sunday when it distributed what looked like campaign opposition research to reporters listing Fauci's perceived misjudgments about the pandemic before the virus spread was recognized. Stories appeared noting that the Trump administration was preparing an attack on Fauci, but these attacks were all attributed to unnamed administration officials. By then, it had been more than a month since Fauci had spoken with the president, the Washington Post reported. The administration had stopped sending Fauci out for major media interviews as they were displeased that he did not endorse reopening the economy, nor did he take part in Trump's happy talk that the virus will, quote, just disappear. Trump says, Dr. Fauci is a nice man, but he's made a lot of mistakes, he said to Fox News' Sean Hannity in a July 9th interview. Fauci has continued to appear on podcasts and do interviews with online publications. Quote, as a country, when you compare us to other countries, I don't think you can say we're doing great. I mean, we're just not. The White House clearly denied that the nation's leading infectious disease expert was out over his skis to speak plainly about the worst pandemic in a century. His concern about controlling a public health crisis had become a distraction from Trump's effort to restart the economy, a central task of his re-election campaign. Fauci, quote, doesn't necessarily have the whole national interest in mind, end quote. Admiral Brett P. Giroir, Assistant Secretary for the Department of Health and Human Services, said on NBC's Meet the Press on Sunday, quote, he looks at it from a very narrow public health point of view.
And then the public health point of view is his job,
Yeah.
right?
The attacks on Fauci escalated when USA Today published an op-ed from White House trade advisor Peter Navarro on Tuesday in which he aired his grievances about the public health official. Quote, Dr. Anthony Fauci has a good bedside manner with the public, but he has been wrong about everything I have interacted with him on, Navarro wrote. The White House attempted to downplay Navarro's falsehood-ridden attacks by asserting that he published the op-ed on his own without official approval. In prior conversations, this act would be a fireable offense. Oh, I'm sorry. In prior administrations, this act would be a fireable offense. In this one, there's little indication that Navarro will be punished at all. Fauci told the Atlantic.
Doing a monkey's paw, dude.
Fauci told the Atlantic in an interview published today, that he has no plans to step down and called the White House's attacks against him bizarre, nonsense, and completely wrong. Quote, ultimately, it hurts the president to do that, he said. Oh my God, there's more. It's another subhead that says passing the buck.
Huh.
Trump has continually refused to take any blame for negligence or errors in his administration's response to the pandemic. Quote, I don't take responsibility at all, quote. He said at a now infamous Rose Garden press conference on March 13th, the day the nation began to go into lockdown. Oh, March 13th, that was the day I went into lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
It was instead former President Barack Obama's fault. Oh my God. It wasn't, I'm going to read that again. It was instead former President Barack Obama's fault, Trump claimed. Trump's attempts to pass the buck to the previous administration came despite his disbanding of a pandemic response team at the National Security Council and his refusal to follow the plan used by the Obama administration to successfully respond to both the H1N1 and Ebola viruses. You know, we never even... I was never even worried about the H1N1. Were you?
No.
Like that did not concern us at all. And it's because, you know how you're always talking about how, like, if you do a good job, nobody notices?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. We were not threatened by it at all.
It's like the wardens.
Yeah, he's a warden.
Yeah.
Okay. More recently, Trump has claimed that former Vice President Joe Biden and Obama stopped their... Oh, I read you this. They stopped their testing. Despite the coronavirus not existing until 3 years after they left office. Trump has stuck to that narrative, claiming that his own excellent work prevented potentially millions of additional deaths. At an event Tuesday that was billed as a White House press conference, but quickly devolved into a rambling campaign rally-style speech, Trump railed against China for, quote, concealing and unleashing the coronavirus upon the world, end quote, and the World Health Organization, a go-to move to distract from his own botched pandemic response. He dismissed the WHO as, quote, a puppet of China and, quote, a terrible deal. The WHO's a terrible deal. And bragged about cutting ties with the world body and redirecting the approximately $450 million the U.S. contributes to it each year.
To where?
Quote, quote, we've been, I guess, as tough as you can get on world health, Trump said Tuesday. Quote, we withdraw our money. We told them we're getting out. Doesn't mean that someday we won't go back in. Maybe we will when it's correctly run.
When we have another president.
But
we'll
they
go
made
right
a lot.
back in.
They made a lot of bad predictions, and they said a lot of bad things about what to do and how to do it, and they turned out to be wrong. They didn't do that.
What were
end
they
quote.
wrong about?
It's truly baffling stuff from the leader of a country that is among the most ravaged by the coronavirus, with 3.45 million infections to date. Trump's withdrawal from the WHO is not the only counterproductive policy change that he has pursued due to his need to control his image rather than abide by decisions informed by public health science. Next subhead, the real damage. Oh, this is long. The president's rejection of expertise, histrionic defensiveness, and bizarre false statements are not simply utterances of an uninformed man. They inform the administration's policies that are undermining efforts to control the virus's spread, which means more Americans will die. His administration was slow to fund testing across the country, failed to properly promote mask wearing when it became clear it would help slow the virus's spread, purchased tens of millions of reserves of Trump's favorite unproven coronavirus remedy, hydroxychloroquine, and is now rerouting hospital data away from the CDC in a seeming effort to keep the public in the dark. Quote, "I said to my people, slow the testing down, please," end quote. Trump told the crowd at an indoor campaign rally he hosted on June 20th that was likely the source of a surge in virus cases in Tulsa, Oklahoma, including the governor. On June 24th, the administration announced it would close 13 federally funded COVID testing sites. Trump has repeatedly claimed falsely that the only reason the country is seeing an increase in cases is because more tests are being conducted. Public health officials have countered this falsehood, pointing to the data on COVID-19 hospitalizations reported at the CDC. But the administration announced on Tuesday that hospitals would cease reporting such data to the CDC and instead direct it to a private data collector that the Department of Health and Human Services has contracted. The move puts the data collection under the control of more partisan officials close to the Trump White House, where it is not currently publicly reported. Already, COVID tracking sites report that the digital CDC data stream that they relied on to provide public updates on the virus has stopped. In much the same way that denying and undermining climate science allows Trump to justify scrapping and weakening environmental rules to the benefit of polluting industries that help bankroll his campaign, covering up and dismissing COVID-19 data is about protecting himself. But like climate science, the science of this virus is not on Trump's side. It shows that his team's lethargic initial response and subsequent push to quickly reopen the economy has had devastating impacts. And that's exactly why the president will spend the next 4 months spinning a revisionist history.
Wow.
Don't mind me, I will just go under here.
Okay,
Okay, we're not minding you.
we won't mind.
Just quiet on the set.
Yeah. So that was a mouthful.
That was a mouthful. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about after that. So, remember how Trump's Tulsa rally was not well attended because the kids, probably a lot of them not even old enough to vote.
Well, you know how I feel. I kind of wish that it wasn't well attended because nobody wanted to go.
But the embarrassment that
Yeah.
it caused Trump
Yeah.
by hardly anybody showing up, it's like half of what they had intended, empty seats, and then Trump, them having to spin the story that their people were blocked by an angry mob of leftists. It's like, you want to tell me that Trump supporters wouldn't charge an angry mob of leftists and there would have been riots in the fucking streets and all kind of footage, like nothing. Not one cell phone camera footage, nothing on Fox. Nobody ever saw that. And then it turned out, well, that didn't really happen. The Utes got organized on the tick-tocking thing. And those ticking and talking kids, they reserved the majority of the tickets for Trump's rally. And so his people couldn't get fucking tickets. And it's fucking funny, and it's fucking beautiful. But these kids, man, again, a lot of them not old enough to vote. But they're voting with their TikTok. These kids went and fucked with Trump again last week. Apparently, did you know this? Trump's got an app. Like the Trump, it's raining again. The Trump 2020 app, I believe. I'm not advertising the fucking app unless you want to go over there and do this thing. These kids organized on fucking TikTok to go and lower the rating for fucking Trump's stupid fucking app and leave bad, terrible reviews. And when I checked, it was at a 1. And I don't think that it goes lower than a 1. They could just like automatically get 1 star or something like that. I don't think you can get
Wow,
like
it's really
minus
going
a
down.
star or something like that. But these kids on fucking TikTok, they went and fucked up Trump's whole app. Now, the reason they did that, because after the first thing they did to Trump and Pence and Pompeo, they went on this fucking campaign to try and get TikTok banned in the United States. And they started this disinformation campaign saying that if you install TikTok, the Chinese government will have access to all of your personal information. Yeah, I really don't care if it's the Chinese government or all the other multinational corporations that have access of my information, because I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. All of those. You sign away all of your fucking data, all of your information to those fucking people. I don't believe it, but they started this whole campaign. So the kids responded by fucking up Trump's app. Like, you want to fuck up our app? You want to get our app banned in the United States? We're going to fuck up your app. And listen to this. It's one of those New Orleans downpours.
That's how we can collect the water.
Yes. Yes, we
Listen
could
to
collect
this-
so much
listen
fucking
to this
water.
headline. Florida hospitals face ICU bed shortage as state passes 300,000 COVID-19 cases. So listen to this. So, you know how many cases they've recorded in the last 7 days?
No.
77,000.
Oh, my God. So
That's
I don't know.
11,000 a day, which is what California got today. 11,000.
I don't know how that denial's working out for him. That's like...
Well, you know, to all the people who still act like it's nothing, you tell them, you know, the hospitals are full, the ICUs are full, and they just act like it's fake.
Yeah.
And then you get nurses who work in the ICU who tell people what they've seen with their own eyes and how terrible it is, and people still don't believe it.
Yeah. The Clorox Kool-Aid is
Clorox-
strong.
It's the Clorox crew.
It's the Clorox Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's strong, man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I hear the cat.
Oh, was it the cat? I heard that
Well,
too.
often the cat's right under our feet. He stayed out all night because he doesn't like the dogs. I usually find him at night and bring him in, but he didn't come out. So he's been under the house bitching at us all day. And then when it gets to the point where he's about to come out and come into the house, you know, get some food, get some water, that kind of thing, it starts raining again. So he's having a rough day.
Oh, here's a
I will go put food under the house for him if I have to soon.
map of
We're looking at a map.
COVID cases in California.
It's a map of COVID cases in California, and it's just going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's...
Because it's
what
a map,
saying.
so I have to describe it to you.
Yeah.
It's just
Cases-
pretty much up.
Okay, this is what I was looking for.
Oh,
yeah,
my
so
God.
see, most of it is...
Oh,
I
so
think-
it's southern, like
Yeah.
Orange County's got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hugest amount.
And wait till their schools
Oh,
open.
and then that's like San Francisco, Santa
That's
Cruz
Bay
area.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
shit,
you
that's
see
a
how
lot.
there's barely anything here? That's why those people don't believe it, because they barely have any cases.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot there. That's a lot of forest and shit like that. Little small towns
where we
and
lived
stuff.
was like right here, and that's why they're just
Wait,
like, oh,
well, we would have been below San Francisco.
No, we weren't.
We talking about Santa Cruz? Oh, you're talking about Grass Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, way over here. Yeah,
See
yeah,
how
yeah.
they don't have any? That's why
Yeah.
they're in denial about it, because they don't
Yeah.
have that many cases.
Nobody's getting tested. They just, kind of drop dead in the trailer park, and nobody knows why they died.
And then the trailer explodes, and they say it was a meth lab.
Yeah, yeah. Or, they drop dead in the trailer and, weren't able to turn off the meth lab, and then it explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're still in the trailer. Nobody knows.
Yeah. They're just, rotting
Yeah,
away.
most of them are... Wow, look at L.A. It's a good thing we're not there.
Oh, fuck. LA's got a huge red circle around it. What was it? What'd you say? 11,000 in California in a day?
Yeah, so today I think they logged 11,000 in the last 24 hours.
My gods. All right, Vay. Well, like I said, if we had just, even bad leadership
Okay, so
could help,
the
but we have
place-
no leadership.
The city in California with the highest, I'm going to read you from highest to lowest. cases in California. First is Los Angeles, and then Riverside, and then Orange County, and then San Diego, and then San Bernardino, and then Fresno, and then Alameda, and then Imperial County, and then San Joaquin, and then Kern County, where Azzy's from, and Santa Clara, Tulare, Sacramento, Stanislaus, Contra Costa, Ventura, San Francisco, Santa Barbara, San Mateo, Marin, Kings County, Monterey. Wow, so Monterey is lower than Marin. Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry. Solano, Merced, Sonoma, Placer, Madera, San Luis Obispo, Yolo, Santa Cruz. Well, they've only had 3 deaths so far.
All right.
Napa,
Santa Cruz on the low end. All right.
Lassen, Sutter, Butte, San Benito, El Dorado, Yuba, Shasta.
Well, you get to the
Nevada
places that have, like,
See-
no population.
See, here's Nevada
Yeah.
County. Everybody's bitching about it because they only
Yeah.
had 1 death.
Yeah.
Glenn County, Humboldt, Mendocino, Calusa, Tehama, Lake, Calaveras, and then,
Lake
it just
County's got like 10.
goes down. Mariposa, and that's it. Those are all of them.
All right.
But yeah, they're obviously based on population. The places with the highest population have the most.
So, all of those things that you depend on the government for, we'll start with schools. Maybe now's the time to figure out a new way. Like Ivanka says, to do something else.
Yeah.
It's probably time to do something else.
Yeah.
And figure out another way. Because counting on any of these fuckers to save us all ain't going to happen. We're all going to fucking drown. It's anarchy. And the best part of anarchy is personal responsibility. So we've got to have some. We got to, pay a bill or soon. So, wait. Oh, wait. There we go. Because it's almost time. It's like we got a little over 15 minutes right now. Hexfest is coming. And I got to plug Hexfest because we don't have too many more shows before Hexfest because it's August 7th to the 9th, 2020. It's right around the corner. You can go from the safety of your own home, which is good because if you couldn't, you wouldn't be able to go because it sold out months ago. But now it's digital, new options. Join in the magic online. Tales of the magic of the Crescent City of New Orleans stretch back over the centuries. It's an enigmatic place where voodoo, hoodoo, witchcraft, and even Christianity blend at the crossroads of spiritual power.
Oh.
With the world in crisis, the magic of New Orleans comes to your home this year with Hexfest Livestream 2020. With the the Hex Education Livestream video platform. On August 7th to the 9th, 2020, Brian Kane, Christian Day, and the Witches of New Orleans present Hexfest, a weekend of witchery. The conference opens with an opening Friday evening live stream video ceremony featuring the Dragon Ritual Drummers. 2 full days of workshops, drumming, and ritual live streamed online. Hexfest has gathered witches, root workers, voodoo priests, and other magical teachers from in New Orleans and around the world to offer their time-honored wisdom. Between workshops, the attendees can join our Zoom video virtual meet and greet, where you can see, speak to, and make friends with presenters and fellow attendees. All workshops, performances, and panels, other than the Zoom video meet and greet, are available by live in your web browser with no download required. You see every workshop. Normally, you wouldn't get to see half the workshops you wanted to see. A lot of them are first thing in the morning. If it's your first time in New Orleans, you probably were, up till 3 or 4 in the morning, drinking and stuff because the bars never fucking closed. That's what happened to us. We came here to New Orleans. I did some workshops. We didn't see shit. We didn't see anybody else's goddamn workshops because the people we wanted to see were too early in the morning and we're having too much fun checking out New Orleans. So, I'm not going to read you a whole list of presenters. You need to go to hexfest.com. See the presenters. I'm one of them. I got a workshop there. check it out. Get to hexfest.com. Tickets are probably available forever now because there's no maximum occupancy requirements. And damn, it's coming down. So what were you chomping at the bit over here? Ooh, triple moon face mask.
Cat.
With a cat and a pentagram. Another triple moon face mask with another pentagram. See, people are getting creative.
It's a fashion statement.
Yeah.
And it's like, you
With
don't
the
have to wear
masks.
lipstick. You don't even have to brush your teeth.
Wow. See, yeah, those are people are getting creative. I went to a store today and I walked in and good thing I had a really good poker face because there's a black man in a mask that says I can't breathe, and I almost laughed. And then it occurred to me how unfunny that was. So it was like almost funny and then not funny. But I guess he's black, so he gets to do that. But our kid just got some masks. He was really excited to put on his mask. One of them, he has a pizza on his face.
It's a pepperoni.
Yeah, it's a pepperoni pizza on his face. And he's got like shark teeth and other stuff. I've seen, I thought...
Shark teeth and then a black and white checkerboard.
And then I thought I came up with this idea, but it seems like somebody else out there, immediately did it or had already done it. But taking a photograph of your lower face and getting it printed on a mask, so when you wear it, people can still see what you look like. And it looks like you're not wearing a mask. And then, the people who are really opposed to masks, they can still hang out with their Trump supporter friends and act like they're not wearing a mask. I mean, if they're Trump supporters, they're probably so stupid they'll fucking probably buy it. Basically, what I'm saying. So, we got anything else? It seems like it might be like rocking out to the end of the show time. We got like less than 15 minutes of show.
Yeah, let's rock out and start dinner.
So, wherever you're at, follow us, subscribe, whether it's iHeartRadio or YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, the other one and the other one and the other one. Wherever you're fucking hearing us out there, they've got a subscribe button or a follow button because so far, man, forever, Widdershins, we're just giving you the tip of our package, man. We could do a lot more. We could go 3 hours. We go 3 hours unlimited times per day. So we could go all day long and just restart the show every 3 hours. If we wanted to, had nothing better to do. Even during COVID-19, we haven't found ourselves with like that much free time because we've been doing this Stay the Fuck at Home show on YouTube. And I've seen that if you just like search the Stay the Fuck at Home show on YouTube, you find it because we post it publicly. But, that's taken up some of our day. So we haven't done a whole day of Widdershins. But we could. Point is, we could. And if we did it, you wouldn't know. Unless you subscribe, follow, whatever you got. Get over there, press that fucking button. And we'll talk to you later. Widdershins.
Who came along for the ride? Hey, you can come inside. Do the citizens live the steps? Is heaven coming on its chest? Hollywood.
My dick cost a late night fee. Yo dick got the HIV. My dick plays on the double feature screen. Yo dick went straight to DVD.
My dick, bigger than a bridge. Yo dick, look like a little kid's. My dick, large like the Chargers, the whole team. Yo shit look like you 14.
My dick, locked in a cage, right? Yo dick, suffer from stage fright. My dick, so hot it's stolen. Yo dick, look like Gary Coleman.
My dick, pink and big. Yo dick, stinks like shit. My dick, got a Caesar do. Yo dick, needs a tweezer, dude.
My dick is like supersize. Yo dick, look like two fries. My dick, more mass than the earth. Yo dick, half staff, it needs work.
My dick, been there and done that. Yo dick, sits in with Duns cap. My dick, VIP. Yo shit, needs ID.
It's time that we let the world know, dude. You gotta let your girl go. DS is the best in the business. PS, we got dicks like Jesus. It's time that we let the world know, dude. You gotta let your girl go. DS is the best in the business. PS, we got dicks like Jesus. My dick need no introduction. Yo dick don't even function.
My dick served a whole luncheon. Yo dick, it look like a munchkin.
My dick, size of a pumpkin. Yo dick, look like Macaulay Culkin.
My dick, good loving. Yo dick, good for nothing.
My dick, bench press 350. Yo dick, couldn't shoplift at Thrifty.
My dick, pretty damn skippy. Yo dick, hungry as a hippie.
My dick, don't fit down the chimney. Yo dick, it's like a kid from the Philippines.
My dick is like an M16. Yo dick, broken vending machine.
My dick, parts the seas. Yo dick, farts and quakes.
My dick, rumble in the jungle. Yo dick, got touched by your uncle.
My dick goes to yoga. Yo dick, fruit roller.
My dick, grade A beef. Yo dick, made a geek.
My dick, sick and dangerous. Yo dick, quick and painless.
My dick, enough said. Yo dick, love spread.
It's time that we let the world know, dude. You gotta let your girl go. DS is the best in the business. PS, we got dicks like Jesus. It's time that we let the world know, dude. You gotta let your girl go. DS is the best in the business. PS, we got dicks like Jesus. Dicks like Jesus.
Dicks like Jesus.
I made a doll and it looks like you. It's cute, small, dressed for a funeral, come rapping at my door. Let the stars around us fall and be lonely nevermore. The way you look tonight, so beautiful, it's scary. Such a lovely bride, so extraordinary. Dark side of the American dream. We don't care when they say we're obscene. We live fast, die young like James Dean. On the dark side of the American dream. Let's light the night on fire. We'll watch the bodies burn. Dance round the funeral pyre. The point of no return. The way you look tonight, a moonlit mortuary. Such a lovely bride, so extraordinary. Dark side of the American dream. We don't care when they say we're obscene. We live fast, die young like James Dean. On the dark side of the American dream. And now that we're outcast, there's no going back. White picket fences are all painted black. 2.5 kids and they will attack. We'll have a perfect family. On the dark side of the American dream, we don't care when they say we're obscene. We live fast, died young like James Dean. On the dark side. Dark side of the American dream. We don't care when they say we're obscene. We live fast, died young like James Dean. On the dark side. Dark side of the American dream. We don't care when they say we're obscene. We live fast, died young like James Dean. On the dark side of the American.
Froggy Fresh 2012. Yeah, we back up in this. Y'all already know. Cause I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stacks, I bet you that she calls. You know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stacks, I bet you that she calls. I had to fight my whole life. I could beat you up even if you had 1,000 knives. Even if you had infinity knives, I would punch you up into the air like a kite. I bet you sleep with the night light, cause you're scared of the dark, cause you stink like a fart. Well, I light your fart on fire with my rounds. You think I won't? I do it all the time. I bet I got more money than Jay-Z. Compared to me, Jay-Z is lazy. Plus Beyonce thinks that I'm cute. It's okay, Beyonce, I think you're cute too. I made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world. I might look small, but I'm not. I don't care if you're big, I'll fight you. Well, I do know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she calls. That I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stacks, I bet you that she calls. I have 400 cars. I have 400 scars and 400 guitars. I have 400 houses. I have 400 mouses and 400 houses. Bet you I can dance better than you. I bet you don't know 2 plus 2. It's 4, it's 4. Now go and shut the door, cause nobody wants to see your face no more. I'm tough as nails, you're slower than a snail. I beat up every single person in jail. I dare you to try and punch me. My face is so hard you'll say, ouch, you crunched me. I fought 2 lions and 1. And I don't even carry a gun. But I never run. But I never run. But I never but I never run. You know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stats, I bet you that she cold. You know that I am the baddest of them all. If you ain't about money, then I don't mess with y'all. Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stacks, I bet you that she calls. Froggy Fresh. I already told you back up in this 2012 to infinity. Get out of here. Peace.